Welcome into the Bro 4 Squad podcast, and we're coming at you from Queens as we give you another world-famous movie commentary on Spider-Man Homecoming, the latest MCU classic. Now, we have our movies paused at the Sony logo, and it's completely up on the screen. So while you guys get your Spidey suits on, let's go around the subway train and meet the bros. As always, your very own Iron Man is here. I am Brian Banner. And to my left, we have our very own web-slinging spider person, Jeff Hornacek. Now, Horns, I know that you haven't been bit by a radioactive spider, but can you tell me something else that you have been bit by?
So you know the story of the guy who invented the slap chop when he went to Vegas and got in a fight with a hooker that he bit? Well, before that, I was in the limo with him. The hooker bit me. It was a domino effect.
So are you like Hooker Man now?
Yeah, I inherited her powers, which apparently was just hepatitis C.
Fair enough. And we also have our very own web-slinging babysitter, John Favreau, a.k.a. Matthew F. Geiger. Geiger, say something.
I'm just going to do my best here to not sling a web in my pants every time Marissa Tomei comes on scene. Back to you, Banner.
That is a very tall order. In fact, I wouldn't bet that you're not going to make it 35 minutes into the movie before that happens. Guys, we are going to press play in 3, 2, 1, play.
Jeff, did you see this with me? How long did I last at the theater before I slung a web and they had to get the black light out and escort me?
Yeah, the employees at the AMC weren't too happy with it.
Yeah, the whole "it's just popcorn butter" did not go over too well with management.
I love how Marvel's like, "Hey, Sony, we'll let you guys put your logo first."
That was there before I came in. I'll tell you that right now.
I really liked how they started this.
Oh, dude, it was awesome.
Like how they took us back to which. Now, have you guys seen there's like a time loophole here? Like the timelines don't quite match up, but who gives a shit?
Kevin Feige explained that. He said, "Who said that when the attack on New York happened, it was 2012?"
Also,
Fair
just
enough.
to catch up all MCU fans, this is called an origin story of a villain. It's pretty cool. It's just tells who the villain is in the story and why you should give a shit. Other movies do it, but it's kind of the first time MCU's kind of dug its feet.
If you want to see a really
and here
good
comes Jeff with his rebuttal. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was going to say, if you want to see a really good example, watch Suicide Squad.
Okay. Actually, their origins that was the only thing right with the movie, so.
Yeah, it was the Enchantress. Good argument.
Well, the villains were okay. I'll just leave it alone.
You guys should continue. I'm really enjoying myself.
Something about Keaton, like, I just want to grab a beer with him, even at times it's not appropriate. He's like, "Well, we need to work now." I was like,
I think Keaton would grab a beer with us.
100%.
Oh, for sure he would. We suck his dick enough on this pod.
He would just hate us because he's actually done a lot of great artistic work like Birdman, but we'd just be like, "So what was it like being Beetlejuice? What was it like being Batman?" Like, that's the only thing we would ask him the whole time.
He would get pretty annoyed.
I really dug this too because, of course, we all know Keaton's the villain. He's playing the Vulture in this, spoiler. And the first scene makes you actually hate the Avengers and care about Keaton. It's just like totally flip-flopped. And I'm like, man, I'm not really sure whose side I'm on. I'm like, I hate the government, and I am a conspiracy theorist. So I was already on Keaton's side through this, and him being the original Batman.
It doesn't matter what he was going to be in this. You were going to be a fan of him in general.
Oh, absolutely. I'm just glad we finally came full circle because, Christopher Reeve, I probably started the whole thing, but, he's no longer with us anymore. And Keaton, in my eyes, started this whole thing where superhero movies are taken seriously. They're not just bubblegum, stupid crap like, don't be afraid to fly an airplane or whatever. And I'm glad that he finally came full circle. I wish he was back in the DCEU, but they did him really well. I wish they would have done Mickey Rourke as well as they did him because they're both fantastic actors. But Keaton did awesome.
Banner, you and I talked about this. So Damage Control, which is, of course, Keaton's group, was originally slated to be a TV series with Marvel, and they scrapped it once they had plans for it in this. The idea of it as a TV show, I was kind of intrigued on. I don't know.
I think it would have been really funny for like a 13 episodes, like almost like a Netflix original where you only do one season. You couldn't do more than one season of it, but just have them cleaning up after one of these disasters. Rather than, and if they were going to do more than one season, they would have had to start a lot earlier. And every time you have a big event like the Avengers and then Winter Soldier and then Age of Ultron, you have them go and cleaning these areas up. But playing it when they played it or introducing it when they wanted to introduce it, I think it would have been a really, really funny one-season comedy.
Question, guys, and mostly Jeff because you're our MCU guy, but Marvel's starting to use some actual music in their movies, trailers. We saw Led Zeppelin being in Thor Ragnarok and Rolling Stones right here. That it was actually used in Blow. I fucking love it. I know, Banner, you're a big score guy, and I like the score too, but whenever you can give me a fucking classic rock, awesome song when I'm in the theater, and I'm like, okay, this is kind of a cool way to introduce Vulture right here.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I think that a big thing with when you use music along with the score, they have to complement each other. You can't.
Yeah, right. I mean, Iron Man was all AC/DC.
Right.
Iron Man was AC/DC.
It was AC/DC. But if you go to the action scenes and the other scenes in the movie that you don't have AC/DC playing, I like it. But there are some movies where it just takes you out of it. Deadpool did a little bit of that for me, where the soundtrack was so good, but then the score didn't complement that as much. Now, I need to talk about this. I know I say it every time we do these. I don't like the new Marvel Studios entrance.
None of us do, I don't think.
Is it
I
as
feel
cool
like they're
as...
doing the old Spider-Man song behind it, though. That's cool.
That is cool.
It's not as cool as the comic pages, but I still like. I mean, I like how they have enough movies now they can just make it only that. And this was a cool intro too.
I think this was my favorite scene on the review, right?
Like Geiger said,
I love how we can never remember because we were drunk at the theater. We have no clue. But take it. No one else is going to. We don't remember.
16, 17-year-old these days just doesn't put their fucking phone down ever. Like he would be taking a piss filming it. I'm in Germany in the bathroom.
Banner, I wish we would have had whenever we do movie reviews taped or something so we could go back and listen to them to see who actually had the best scene.
No, there is enough recorded audio evidence of what we do. We don't need more.
But check out our Spider-Man Homecoming review because we did it back in July when this came out.
And we shamelessly plug ourselves all the time, so no, we're not embarrassed in the least.
Now, Geiger, I know you hate Favreau, but you got to admit he was pretty good in this.
I think he hates him as a director.
I'll get back to Favreau. Jeff, just to segue off your point, Marvel's never started a movie the way they started this. A quick origin on the villain to actually make you feel sympathetic towards him, and this is just a creative, just awesome. I don't even know how to describe this. It worked for sure. It was just a really cool idea of Peter Parker being behind the whole scene, and it just. I love when they connected it into other movies, just like how a lot of us in like Man of Steel until we saw BVS, we're like, okay, we like the ending now. This basically goes right from Avengers to Civil War, and it's like, okay, now Spider-Man movie. And I loved it.
And seeing what he was doing in the events of Civil War was just really cool too, how he got there. I mean, if Black Widow was stating that, I would probably be in the same spot, just like checking things out, just like. Look how he's still filming the entire time. Awesome. He's like Antonio Brown. Like, you can put that down.
Why is Ruffalo back there talking to a reporter? Is that too soon?
I actually believe that Tom Holland can do that, like that standing backflip over the bed like that.
Because he's like a gymnast, didn't he?
Yeah.
He did a lot of his own stunts.
Tony's watch is probably worth more than I'll ever make in my entire life.
That needs to be something, if you know this, comment below, but maybe a blog we should write, are actors that still do their own stunts. Because I bet it's a short list than it used to be back in, the 80s or 90s.
I can't think of any off the top of my head right now.
Tom Cruise is the only one.
Nowadays, I remember Ryan Reynolds talking about Deadpool and how great shape he got into. He's like, I have to do some of these fight scenes because if I get hurt, like, we're just stalled. Like, I am the movie, so it's just shooting just stalled for 3 months until I can recover. So most people probably don't anymore. I think Tom Cruise still does because he's just nuts.
He also still believes in aliens, right? That like they're a religious.
I did a paper on Scientology in high school. Like, we won't get into it now. You won't even believe how fucked up it is. Like, it's insane. Well, if you if you don't want to read it, I don't even know where it's at. But watch like Leah Remedi's show on it. It's really effed up. But if we get big enough, we're going to start our own religion. So who are we to talk, right?
Of course. Broskology.
Once we hit 1,000 subscribers, like, we're going to have a Bro 4 Squad religion, too, that you can come worship.
Look, any religion where you get to drink beer once a week in a grouply gathering, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, but I think that's already taken. It's called being Catholic. We need to do something else on that. Maybe add a bong. I don't think anyone else is doing that.
Yeah, I don't think anybody else is doing that.
Hindu.
Now, I remember seeing the trailers for this and going, oh, great, it's going to be another Iron Man movie. He's going to be in this whole fucking thing. And then you see him in we're in the third scene now, and you're like, all right, there he is, and he leaves him. I was a little confused because of what I was expecting versus what we actually got.
See, I didn't like the marketing in this. Well, I love Iron Man. I love Downey Jr. I didn't like that he was on the movie poster and he was like almost bigger than Spider-Man stuff. And I think it was just Marvel probably, and for rightfully so, scared that people are going to be like, another Spider-Man film. Like, we've already seen this a million times. And I understand why they used him. It was a different aspect to it that we've never seen before. I mean, dude, you can't do the Uncle Ben dying scene again. You just effing can't. BVS did the, parents dying scene again, and it was very well done. It was right off the fucking pages of a comic, but I'm still like, I've seen it. Let's go.
I think that they had to do it. I think the marketing department, I think their hand was forced. I think that they had to because, like you said, Spider-Man, we're kind of beating a dead horse at this point. Yes, it's in the MCU now, so everybody's really excited because it's different. And
Liz Allen.
They really have more. They can do more with it because they have all these other characters. But I think they were scared to go, this is strictly a Spider-Man movie. They had to use the big and the lore and the glory that Iron Man has already created over the past 10 years to get this off the ground to ensure it was going to be a success. But they did a good job of not making that's what it was about.
Dude, if you spend $35 million to have Robert Downey Jr. in your movie, I think you need to put him on the poster.
See, this is the thing why I don't want to shit on it too much. One, because I liked it. That's one. And two, because we're all pretty good at coming up with, hey, why didn't they do this? And it's usually better. Mainly on Warner Brothers films where they fuck up. I can't think of any way better they could introduce Spider-Man being in high school, giving the actor's age and everything like that. So I'm totally cool with it. And if anyone is bitching about it, even like me, I was bitching about it, and I had to take a step back. I'm like, we're not going to get Downey Jr. for that much longer, so I'm kind of more now, put him in every fucking movie, man, because I think Infinity War, he's going to die. So I want as much as him I can get.
He'll be fine.
I'm sure he'll make it. It'll just be a flesh wound.
I love Bruce Banner being one of the scientists they're studying here. If you look up on once the camera pans either, they're far right. There he is.
That's legit.
Yep, good old son over there.
He's your son.
I don't want to start a holy war here, but did anyone else just not like Flash? I don't know how else to say it, man.
He wasn't he wasn't a bully.
He's like a modern day. They said he was a modern day bully.
How is that a
modern day bully is somebody that talks shit online. He was just annoying.
No, he wasn't.
Maybe show me the inside of his backpack and I might be scared, but he wasn't really that scary to me, I guess. I don't know, dude. I'm to the point. It's comic books. It's Greek mythology or whatever, and you wouldn't have a movie, about 12 Years a Slave and cast McConaughey as like the main slave. Just wouldn't do it. That's the thing about Flash Thompson. I would rather him just not even be in the movie. He doesn't fit in here at all.
Flash Thompson, to me, he has to be somebody that I feel like could beat Peter Parker up without Peter Parker having his powers.
If he was, I'm not saying that it's because he's like Indian or whatever his descent is. I'm just saying that he's never. I mean, give him a hall pass. He doesn't know where the weight room is. He doesn't show me at all that he could beat anyone up. He's not a bully. He was just meant to be a bully. You had Joe Manganiello ripped as fuck playing him in the first one, and now you got this kid. It just didn't set well with me at all.
Martin Starr, another great casting choice.
I love how he just cannot wait to get out of class.
Now, maybe you guys can help me out or comment below, but there is an Asian actress in this that's supposedly Cindy Moon, a.k.a. Silk, in the comics. And I read that on just some of the fun facts about here, but I don't remember seeing her in this at all, unless she's not mentioned at all. She's just in the background.
I think I've been to this deli.
I don't know whether I should believe you or not.
Deli as big as my shoe closet in New York that sells sandwiches? Nah, doesn't sound right.
Oh, you don't like New York either. Are we keeping track of all the things Geigerhead doesn't like 11 minutes into the movie?
I love this movie. You know I do.
Horns, is that a taco?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I had chicken tacos for dinner, too. It's a great choice.
Stay in school, kid, but then the second that this Indian guy's son walks out, he's like, one day, Ramesh, this will all be yours. Like, what? Colleen Wing Studios coming up in the background. Her dojo.
So Tom Holland getting this role as Spider-Man. His final casting call had Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans in it. So just imagine, hey, man, I'm really close to this role. Then you have to fucking go toe-to-toe with lines with these guys. And then
God,
he
he's
found out
fucking
he was
ripped.
Then he found out he was Spider-Man through Instagram.
Did you hear who he read with before his first audition while they were both waiting in the lobby to go in? John Bernthal.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Nice.
Bernthal told that story on Jimmy Fallon.
Was Bernthal reading to be the Punisher?
Yep. He was going in to meet with Jeff Loeb right after Holland met with Feige.
That's really cool.
And they were both like, he said it was funny because they were like helping each other, but they were like, neither could tell the other person who they were going to read for.
See, and the thing is, you probably couldn't even guess because,
No.
Holland could have been just reading for just someone's son or something. I don't know. This was he in anything else? I've never even heard of this kid until Civil War. I think he was in a movie called like The Independents, or
Well, he was in that whale movie
Awesome.
with Hemsworth.
Chris Hemsworth in a movie with Ewan McGregor about the tsunami, where Naomi Watts is his mom.
He's perfect though. He's lean, he's ripped, he's a good-looking kid, and he's not older than the teachers like Tobey Maguire was.
The music's really working for me right here, too.
What do you think Tobey Maguire thought when he watched this?
I bet he didn't watch it. He was like, I'm just going to go hang out with Leo. He's my friend.
You know who
Hey,
probably
hey,
did watch it? Andrew
think he did
Garfield, and he
parties?
probably said, I could have done this.
Stan Lee cameo?
Is it a Stan
Love
Lee
it.
cameo, or is it The Watcher?
God,
It's the Stan
wouldn't it
Lee
be
cameo.
awesome? Just let's. We all know what Kristen Dunst thought. She was the chick in high school, like bring it on that's really hot, but now she's like kind of fat and 40. And when she's watching, she's like, we did it better. I'm like, okay, whatever. Just go get out of here. Play Queen Elizabeth II again. Or the hell you do.
I think she also said, but I didn't see it. I was like, oh, well, that kind of seems important.
She's like, we're the Spider-Man franchise. Like, all right. And, I mean, you know Franco. I love Franco, but, dude, he's kind of wearing thin on Hollywood, too, I think. He's like, are you serious, or are you just like Seth Rogen's F-buddy that's just going to say all his lines?
That's like me calling the chick from last night. Hey, think you might have given me a bad number, but if this is you, give me a call back. I loved his suit.
The scene coming up is in the trailer. I'm so glad they didn't give him the actual Iron Spidey suit with the legs coming out the back and stuff.
Yeah, not yet.
Well, he's gonna need that, I think, the next time we see him.
Yeah, they kind of teased a little bit at the end, if I remember right. I haven't seen this since.
They show it.
It looks a little bit different. I'm glad that I don't think they're gonna go full gold, red, no blue like they do in the comics.
Gold, yeah, in the comics.
Well, yeah, in the comics it's red and gold. I don't think they're gonna go all that. If they do, I hope we don't see it until the movie or a movie.
I
mean, it's in the trailer that I saw, but
can I say it? I don't know who started it,
awesome.
And I really don't want to get in that conversation, but I dig the whole Point Break using the hero's mask when you're villains. Like, I think they did it in Suicide Squad 2 and here. I like for people to keep doing that. I think that's badass. Or in a Batman movie, you know, there's some random villain's trying to rob a bank, but he's wearing like a Robin mask or something like that. I think that's cool.
In Suicide Squad, there's that scene where the Joker and all his henchmen break in and they all have Batman masks on. I dug that scene.
I know. I'm saying that, you know, let's not say it overplayed. I'm like, no, keep doing it. I kind of like it. I think it's fucking cool.
I'll say it's overplayed when it doesn't work for me.
Yeah, and then we'll be the first in line and be like, I told you they shouldn't have done that.
Well, this is a crock of shit.
But anytime you bank rob and put like president's mask or superhero mask on, we will do a movie commentary on it.
Honestly, what they just did to that deli might have upped the resale value.
Well, the subs just went from, you know, deli to toasted, but yeah.
I mean, he hadn't mopped in like 3 weeks. You're welcome.
Subway down there.
The insurance claim on this is going to keep you afloat.
So you guys have heard the rumors now on what people are speculating on this, right?
On why they're moving the vases?
Why they sold Avengers Tower and who may have bought it?
It's not the Baxter Building. No one said that to me.
People are saying it. The interwebs is going crazy. I've seen it. I've heard it. I've read it.
So it's not just because they have the Avengers facility upstate?
Nope. Because Tony would keep that for the tax write-off. Let's be honest with ourselves.
That's true.
Being the DC guy, of course, I know what the Baxter Building is, but why don't you fill all our listeners in and talk like we're complete idiots? Because I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Talk like we're Fox.
Oh, you talking to me?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just like,
so the Baxter Building, the Baxter Building is the base for the Fantastic Four.
Okay.
Which we all know that Fox has the rights and has fucked up royally. I'll say 4 times, even though they've only made 3 movies. That's how bad they fucked it up.
Well, no, because
there'll be one listener that appreciates that we actually explained it. I know there'll be some like, Geiger's a poser. He doesn't know. I'm like, dude, I read DC comics. I never really read Marvel comics. So soon.
And honestly, of all the Marvel comics,
I don't have that much money.
The Fantastic Four comics suck. So
they're really good when they're not their own comics.
Definitely Fantastic Four.
I love the Fantastic Four when they're not in their own comics.
I love Doctor Doom when he's not in the Fantastic Four comics.
Doctor Doom might be one of the. He's an upper echelon bad guy.
Relate to this scene right here. We're trying to sneak home after the bar. We said we're going to be at home at 11. It's 2 a.m. and our wife's just setting there up.
And we maybe smell a lot like booze. And Ned Leeds is sitting on our bed. And you broke my fucking Death Star, Ned.
And we always say, you'll never believe what happened. Then, of course, we don't have a plan B to even say what the fuck we were doing for the last 3 hours.
I would say to Ned, though, I'd be like, it's not a big deal you dropped the Death Star, because if the movies have taught us anything, we can have that thing like 3/4 built by a couple hours.
Wow. Shot at Star Wars.
What's that smoke coming from, the kitchen or Marissa Tomei?
Yes.
Will she ever not be hot?
Probably not. How
I
old
don't
is
know.
she? She's got to be 50.
She's like mid to high 50s.
Yeah,
On it.
mid to
Hold
high
on.
50s. She's pushing 60.
She's got to be 55.
Dude, she dated Downey in like the 80s.
Is she really?
Yeah.
I knew they
When
dated, but I didn't think it was
They were in
that.
Chaplin together. Downey won an Academy Award.
How much drugs did they think? She's 52 years old. She was born on December 4th, 1964, so she'll be 53 on December 4th.
So what are we all going to do on December 4th for Marissa Tomei's birthday? We need to have...
Off? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was going to do that anyway.
Well,
that day.
yeah, like other stuff.
See here, okay, I did want a little more like, okay, everything that's happened with her, obviously referencing Ben. I just want a little more than that. Is that a little greedy? I don't know. I didn't want to see anything, but I would love to hear her say something about it.
Dude, some of these comic movies, though, since they've done them so much, it's just turning into, like, you know, fighting politics with someone at a bar. I mean, there's somebody who's like, don't bring up Uncle Ben at all. It's overplayed. I'm sick of it. And someone's like, we don't even get Uncle Ben in this? And
What if they
it's
would have
just
done
hard.
something like this?
It's hard.
If we go back to the Incredible Hulk with Norton, what if they did something like that where in the credits they explain that in like the opening crawl kind of a thing where like they don't actually talk about it, but you see what happened and what transpired. Like a news clip. You're showing news clipping of the.
I'd rather hear it from like one of the characters. I respect what you're trying to do.
Rather him show him, not tell us.
As the debate team teacher says, what have I told you about using that bell for comedic purposes?
Keep doing it.
You know, I mean, I get it that Uncle Ben is like Bruce's parents. You got to have some symbolic of them living and dying because that's the whole reason they're doing what they're doing right now. It's probably, I mean, even to Batman, like the Joker's not as important as Bruce's parents because that's what created Batman. It's like any Spider-Man villain, any arc at all isn't as important as Uncle Ben dying because that's when he, you know, becomes Spider-Man, and with great power comes great responsibility and all that stuff. So I understand what you're saying. I just think there'd be somebody in the theater be like, oh, again, bro? Come on, man. We've seen this. I will have to say, though, we did, once again, Banner, I don't remember anything we do, but we did Amazing Spider-Man, I know, Broback, and maybe Amazing Spider-Man 2.
We did.
But I even said the Uncle Ben scene in the Garfield ones hit me harder than the one in the Tobey Maguire universe, for sure. Because Garfield's a better actor and Martin Sheen's a better actor, probably. But those movies did it really well.
I think I like the Garfield one better. Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, the Ben death it made me feel more, okay, I see where his character's going. And Garfield just plays a gloomy, like, teen so well that you could tell. I remember the one time he's like, not today, Flash, and then he slammed him up against the locker. He's like, I was just going to say sorry about your, uncle.
Here, and I'm sure I've said this before because I say it all the time. We now have 3 Spider-Mans that we can kind of talk about and compare. And why I think Holland is the best is because he's middle of the pack on both Peter Parker and Spider-Man. This is really funny Captain America cameo right here, too. At least it makes me laugh.
Yeah.
Pretty sure this guy's fugitive or whatever.
Yeah, pretty sure he's a fugitive, but they make me give it to him or show you this. I think that
so many teachers that just don't give a shit. They're like, whatever, just watch the video, shut up.
I think that Garfield he's the best Peter Parker that we have. And I think Maguire is the best Spider-Man we have, but I think Tom Holland is better than both of those in the other respective categories. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Quickly, the Captain America scene I want to touch on really quick. As a DC fan, loving dark and gloomy stuff, obviously, I love how Marvel does that. There's some stuff that Marvel does that really makes me laugh. I have a problem sometimes with the biggest fight scenes. They kind of create a joke about it, and I think there's a time to be serious and time to be funny. And can't we just agree that DC will never do that, and that's okay, and Marvel will do it, and that's okay? They're two totally different entities. They definitely drew a line in the sand, and one's on the one side and one's on the other, but I dug I'm not even a big Chris Evans fan, but I loved how they used him. He's like, hey, man, you're a big hero now, like, get back to the kids, do some like, commercials and stuff. It's awesome. It's hilarious.
By the way, Ned Leeds, first time he's ever seen a sit-up.
Did he even
And I
actually
This
do
high
one?
school gym though, like you're doing stuff, and the hot chicks are just over there doing their nails, which is probably why most of the hot chicks in high school now are like obese.
The thing I loved about this is they didn't drown in it, but they were like, "Hey, this Spider-Man is in the MCU." Like even those girls, like that's if Hulk and Thor
Let's play
existed.
fuck one, marry one, kill one over there. I know.
Exactly.
She is smoking.
Yeah. Like it's stupid.
Is she 18?
Dude, if Ned cockblocks him,
She's
he's like,
I'm not going on record saying that until I know she's 18.
Dude, I'm in a state where I think it's 17, so I can say it pretty. I'm sure they're juniors, aren't they?
yo, his mom's pretty chill if she drops them off at a house party. Like obviously, Ned, what is that hat? Pussy repellent? It gives me confidence.
It didn't say that she's 52 and she could go in a high school party and still be the hottest chick there.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
fuck.
true.
It's weird if you take your. Usually, it's weird if you take your aunt to prom, but not if your aunt's Marissa Tomei.
He's gonna walk in and people not even trying to make fun of him are actually gonna be like, "Hey, where's your aunt?"
Yeah, where's your aunt at though? Imagine, like, Aunt May on Instagram. I bet she posts like pictures in her bikini and stuff, and like everyone likes them. And she's like, "Peter, your friends are so sweet. They like all my photos." I'm like, "Huh? Yeah. I don't know why."
Dude, I can guarantee you, every other mom at the school fucking hates her.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's like I heard she's a whore. Like from who? I just heard it.
I heard that she actually killed her husband. What?
I heard she gets around. Who? Like who? Like who has she dated? I don't know. Just a lot of guys.
I heard she drove her husband to die. What? Well, he was murdered, so. But
I love also when like chicks be like, God, she wears a ton of makeup, and I want to be like, maybe you should try it. Like whatever she's doing is working.
yeah, like, well, she doesn't look bad, so.
So this chick's not from the comics at all, right?
Who, Liz? Liz Allen?
Is she?
She is. Now, she's not, spoiler alert if you haven't seen this, she's not, why can't I remember the Vulture's name right now? Toombs. What's his first name?
I don't know.
Michael Keaton?
No.
Michael Keaton. Thank you, Banner.
She's not Toombs' daughter.
But once again, man, I like that. Well, I think they could have used Mary Jane in this, simply because
She is.
it was a reboot ago, and they totally didn't use Mary Jane at all. They used Gwen Stacy.
Did you know?
But
I know this isn't this one, but did you know that in Amazing Spider-Man 2, they actually filmed scenes with Mary Jane, and Shailene Woodley was Mary Jane?
Yep. It's on the DVD.
Yeah. Which I don't like Shailene Woodley. Like, I don't like anything about her. I think she's a fine actress. I just don't fucking like her. So I'm really glad that they didn't include that in that movie.
Banner said that, like,
I'm sure her phone got lost. That's why she didn't return any of those text messages you sent her and all the dick pics.
Banner said that, like, he invited her over to a dinner party once, and he's pretty sure she stole something from him.
Banner has a 1, 2, 3 approach with girls. He texts, "Hey, what's up?" Then he texts a question mark. Then he texts a picture of his dong. And if you don't reply after that, it just wasn't meant to be.
Look, it works sometimes.
It works enough. It works enough to try it again.
Yeah. Donald Glover, a.k.a. Lando Calrissian.
AKA Miles Morales' dad.
Do you like that they put that in there?
Fucking love it.
I love it too. Going back, Go ahead.
They were talking about doing Miles Morales, I think, in Civil War. Once again, you don't know what rumors were actually true and what actually went around the room and stuff at Disney, the Marvel Studios and stuff. I wasn't for that yet because I'm like, man, you could do some stuff with Spider-Man, and You've done some good stuff
soon.
with Spider-Man. You kind of fucked it up a little bit too, but he is your Batman, and he has a ton of villains we haven't seen, a ton of story arcs you haven't seen. But yeah, if they're gonna go with this for a while, I would love to see a Miles Morales. He's an awesome Spider-Man.
The Miles story in the comics feels so much cooler because we had Peter Parker for so long, I think. So
we haven't seen it yet.
Right. Well, but I mean, if they do it this way, like let's get to know Peter Parker, and clearly they're bringing in Miles Morales, hence his uncle being in the movie.
Going back to your point, Geiger, which I would before I start, I consider this a chase scene. It's not too bad. I
like this one.
I like it. Using the tech that they've got to try and get rid of him, and they're really introducing the villain party to Spider-Man. I like that. But going back to what you were talking about, having MJ in it, I like how they did it, where we don't have Gwen Stacy or MJ really in it. I mean, MJ's in it, yes, but is she? No. So I like that they did that.
We'll get to that later, but whenever she says her name at the end. But yeah, I like it. There's so many times we've had, what is it, like 5 Spider-Man films, 6 if you count Civil War. This is the 7th.
I don't count Civil War.
Okay, he was in it though. But
yeah,
we've had so many
Spider-Man
people that
film. He's in it for like 15 minutes, if that.
Oh my God. Okay, sorry, 5. 5 Spider-Man films. We've had so many. Well,
6 if you include this.
Okay, I'm done with my point.
Can he make his point, Bannon? My God.
I'm just gonna sit in the corner.
And I think he was saying 5 Spider-Man films before this one.
I had a point somewhere in there, but it doesn't even matter.
Ferris Bueller, oh my. That grill looks good.
It looked good. So, Jeff, if they do put Miles Morales in, like, what year do you think they'll put him in a movie?
I think he'll be in Holland's last movie, and they said they're doing 3 Spider-Mans, all of them he's in high school, so...
It's like 2025?
Maybe not that long.
Okay. So, like, what if me and Lauren Geiger go and adopt a small black child tomorrow, what age should he be so I can train him to be the next Miles Morales?
Probably like a year or 2 old.
Okay. Because I'm going to just throw him in the weight room and have him do gymnastics and have him eat veggies. And
what I would do is eliminate any chance he has at a normal childhood and just make him – let him live through him and force him to do the things that you failed at in life. And I love this fucking scene with the Vulture. Like, great way to introduce him. This is just cool. And, again, Tony's saving his ass.
This directing, dude, it almost feels like – I hate to bring this name up because he's hot and cold so much, but a Bryan Singer movie. That's what this movie feels like to me. It feels like a good X-Men, not Superman Returns, but like a good X-Men film to me. Like, just the directing, maybe not the tone, but the directing shots just feel like it's fun, it's a popcorn movie, it's summer, but the directing is kind of dark, especially when the Vulture shows up. I dig it.
What would Vulture have done if his parachute didn't pop out there? Would he have killed him?
Maybe. Are you glad that Tony didn't actually show up here? I am.
It's still kind of the same thing.
It is, but it isn't at the same time. Like,
don't Bodie me. He's here, but he's not here. But he's everywhere, but he's nowhere at the same time.
I love that line. He's like, did you put a tracker in this suit? He goes, I put everything in that suit. And he's at like some party in India.
This is like
thank God this place has Wi-Fi.
He's like sipping a Mite. Yeah, because my data bill would be through the roof.
So rumor is that someone else is going to replace Tony Stark as his father figure after Iron Man probably bites the dust. I don't know who that'd be, though.
Yeah, I mean, Tony's the only person.
Daredevil.
He's like,
Charlie Cox comes in.
Disgusting.
It could be Charlie Cox. That's what I want.
He's like, well, Happy doesn't answer my calls, so maybe I need to do something drastic to get his attention, like threaten to kill myself.
What if Tony said he's too busy watching Disney movies to see what other fucking Walt Disney film he can just rape this story and plot and direct it and make $1 trillion and fuck up the ending?
All right, go ahead and go on your rants about Favreau.
Go see our Jungle Book movie. Oh, we didn't do one because it's stupid. We should do one on the original, though. Put that down, Banner. Mark that. Take a note of that.
Yeah,
I'd do the original Jungle Book. That'd be fun.
Right now.
Okay. It looks like you're just flipping me off through Skype, but all right.
No, I didn't do that at all. I wrote it down.
This is pretty good. And if you can get the whole school to chant it, then it's his nickname forever. So
I love how he's wearing a pop collar because Kanye West just came out with his first album in fucking 2003.
there's a line that wasn't a crowd of people. That was a line of chicks to get with Flash Thompson.
Well, Flash's religion is he can have 20 wives, so that makes sense, I guess, Jeff.
I think that's Mormonism.
He's 10 short. You said there's only 10 up front there. Must be a Tuesday.
Banner, did you like the Tinkerer in this?
I didn't mind him. I would have liked a little more, I think.
Again, I'm not used to seeing him not with Kingpin, so the whole time I was like, dude, he's not like this little bitch.
Now, if they somehow connect him back into the Netflix TV shows, that would be fucking cool. I don't think it'll ever happen.
So they try to make the Vulture Adrian Toomes. Now I remember his name. Be like the guy who bossed him around, but in the comics it's the Kingpin who like always beats the shit out of him when he builds stuff that doesn't work. That's way cooler to me.
Getting way ahead of ourselves, but Keaton's like not done, right?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
And he seems like a dude he's a great artist, like a great actor, but he didn't seem like an Edward Norton that's like a D-bag. I think he would play ball.
Yeah, he would.
He definitely played ball.
By the way, Logan Marshall Green, Tom Hardy light.
He wishes.
Well, he looks like him.
Well, he'd have to do a TV show on FX that no one saw for him to be even close to that. And a movie directed by Christopher Nolan where he didn't talk at all. But if he could somehow pull off that feat, Jeff, I would consider it.
Good dig at pro wrestling right there, Geiger. I bet you hated that too.
I loved it. I like this movie. I just, for my DC brethren, I carry the flag into every podcast we do, and I have to play the villain a little bit and play the spoiler maker. But you were here with me. I love this film. I think I gave it 8 stars, 3 brownie points, and 2 light bulbs, which I don't know what that means because we fucked up our.
You can hang that up on the fridge. I love how Keaton's like, you know what? You're right. I can't let you leave, so I'll murder you.
I love his. Dude, he has a pretty good character arc in this. The first scene you saw, man, I bought all these trucks, like I'm going to go fucking bankrupt. And he's like, but my guys too, like my guys need this work too. We all have families. Government F's him over. And then he's like, okay, screw, everyone's changing. We got to change too. Screw that. We're going to make machinery. But now you can see where, power's addicting, man. It really is.
Well, they have a good point too. Damage control, like, all right, it doesn't make any sense. Tony Stark makes the mess and then also gets paid to clean it up.
I mean, his character arc is awesome. It's full blown. It's the best one. I mean, maybe you could say Loki, but the dude's had like 4 films to do it. For this short amount of time, this is a great villain character arc, which is another reason I'm really happy we did. We don't have Uncle Ben to worry about. We don't have Mary Jane, all that other stuff. We could just focus on the hero versus the villain.
I like the Ned Peter dynamic. It was a new one and again, I don't know if we're ever going to get Harry in these movies.
I hope not, to be honest with you.
You could argue he's been done poorly twice, I think.
I don't think you have to think that.
I didn't mind Franco until about mid-second movie.
I was never a fan of it.
I never liked Franco. I will say that it got progressively worse, and about mid-second is when I was just like, okay, I'm actually done with this, but I've never liked it.
Dane DeHaan is a good actor, but
he is not.
He played him way too. You don't think he's a good actor?
No, I was agreeing with you that he was terrible in that movie.
I was going to say he played him way too whiny, and there is no way in hell I would ever believe him and Andrew Garfield not only are friends, but like would ever even talk to each other.
In his movie, he was in the second one, right? That's it?
Yeah.
And he just came in and he's like, hey, everyone, I'm Harry Osborn. Remember me from the other trilogy? Okay, we're friends and action. Then he just flips his hair over his eyes. He's like, my fucking dad, and
I'm
gonna
dying.
take over his company, though.
I don't want your life.
I'm like, get the fuck out of here, man.
Now keep me in the will. God, I mean, have a soul.
How pissed do you think Marvel Studios is, though, that, you know, hey, we got back Spider-Man, and then they're at the studio head. It's like, okay, we want to go here with Mary Jane, we want to go here, and then, like, whoever's running the show is like, dude, we can't, because Sony fucked it up. Twice. And fans will hate it. They'll be like, dude, we don't want to see this shit anymore. Even if you play him perfect, I don't even care who it is. If you would have fucked the Joker, in my opinion, has never really been fucked up. If you would have fucked the Joker up twice, DC fans are like, dude, we don't want to see him ever again for about 20, 30 years. Like, we're sick of him.
So I think there's a good point here, and Jeff, you could probably elaborate on this a little bit more. So Sony still has the rights to Spider-Man, but Marvel has creative control?
Yeah, so it's still a Sony picture. So
they're making all the money off of it, right?
Correct. And they spend all the money on the budget. It's just in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and it's a Marvel Studios production, meaning they make the film.
But what about Civil War and Infinity War, which Spider-Man's a part of? They just have profit sharing in that, like they'll get 10% or something?
Yeah, I don't know how the cut works, but I know that Marvel, they basically have the character licensed out to them to use.
So this DVD came out October 17, 2017, and this is when we're doing it. So if you're listening to this in 3 years, Marvel has built up Spider-Man. He's perfect. Tom Holland is Spider-Man. And Sony's going to be like, F you, Marvel. We can do this. And they're going to ruin the entire fucking franchise for a third time is basically what's going to happen.
Yeah, well, that's the issue. So Marvel is, in this movie, technically they're licensed. That's why they insisted Robert Downey Jr. be in it, because he's a big box office draw. And Sony, of course, wants to market him as much as they can.
Yeah.
So licensing out that character for this. So when they go make their Venom movie with, you know, Silver Sable or Black Cat, whatever they do, Marvel's not going to give them their characters, and so I don't think they can reference them or anything. So it's really weird. Like, do we care with those? I don't know.
This was a ballsy move by Marvel, in my opinion, because they could have just put like a Black Panther movie here or something like that, and probably made just as much money, and they wouldn't have to fuck with Sony's dumbasses. I mean, I'm glad they did it. It's awesome. It was awesome seeing him in Civil War, but God, who would want to F with Sony? I mean, they messed up everything.
I like the vibranium reference right there.
What have they done right, really?
Here's Happy. Have you seen Lion King? Yeah. You think it'd be cool as a live-action movie?
How does that make
okay,
sense?
I'm directing it right now. I'll call you later.
Like with real lions? No, they're all CGI. Okay, so how is that live action?
It's just liver than the animated one. Just would it be cool? Would you ask all your friends around, take a poll if they go see it?
What about Magic Kingdom? What's that? Disney World.
Happy, I gotta hold on. What about Aladdin? I gotta go. Happy, I'm at the science thing. Okay, text me.
Right, I'll text you.
I actually like the idea of the Magic Kingdom movie, so fuck you guys.
That one to me, okay, it's original. I at least like that.
Dude, I love the idea of Lion King. I love it. I'm just saying that it's just such a cop-out when everyone's like, he's such a fantastic just director. And I'm like, he doesn't have any vision. He just takes someone else's vision and then kind of just makes it his own. He's like the Milli Vanilli of directors.
You haven't seen Zathura, the movie that he directed.
I'm gonna even have to stop you there.
Yeah, I was too busy.
You don't think that one's not that bad? But Dak Shepard is in it.
You've
Why
never
is he
heard me
taking
say
the
that.
tracker off again?
So that he can actually go and pursue Tombs,
Vulture.
yeah, and Vulture without Tony knowing. I love that he calls it Training Wheels Protocol.
That's like, we need that for our phones. You can't like drunk text people.
Yeah, but that's part of the best part of texting.
That's true. Take it off. You are a kid. Do you kind of wish we got a little more of like how the spider bit him? Like, was he at Oscorp? Like, not seeing it necessarily, and I know this is a counter to everything this podcast is about, but like him just kind of like saying the story to someone. Because in this case, we've seen it twice. We don't need to see it anymore.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind him talking to Ned and like while they're walking down the street earlier in the show or earlier in the movie, just kind of going like Ned asking him questions like how did it happen, things like that, and him just say something about it real quick. Or again, and I just like this idea. Maybe I'm just getting a little drunk and just like this idea in general. But going through a little montage during the opening credits of that.
Is Liz going? Because I mean, I'll go if Liz is going. Not that she's like beautiful or anything.
Can we all say that we'd be terrible heroes? Because here, if the world needs saving, but you know,
I'm totally going to the pool.
Yeah, a chick in a skimpy dress is like, "Hey, you should come to the pool." Yeah. Fuck the world. The world will be there tomorrow. I mean,
look, the
maybe,
Vulture's not going anywhere, right?
There's like a 42% chance the world will be here tomorrow. So I might as well just go and go by the pool. And also, we would tell everyone that we're a hero.
Oh, for sure. I'd be using that shit to get into the clubs. No questions asked.
Oh yeah, is your name on the list? I'm Spider-Man.
I'm like, yeah, I'm Spider-Man. Prove it, and I'd just web him in the mouth and be like, "Is that proof enough, bitch?"
We'd even tell it at like an Applebee's, like, "Listen, our mozzarella sticks still haven't hit the table, and I don't want to say this, but I'm Spider-Man, so we maybe need those off the check whenever you bring it at the end of the night."
Also, those guys behind us already got their queso, and they came in 5 minutes after. I love that guy.
That's not even my Spidey sense telling me that. I was like watching their table. They were here after us.
I don't know if you guys have seen the leaked Infinity War trailer, but they show his spider sense in it, which is really cool.
That's sick.
He's on the bus, and when Thanos' ship comes down, the hair on his arm stands up, and he like looks out the window and basically sees the world ending.
Do you guys like his little version of Jarvis or Friday or whatever? I don't even remember what her name is.
No. Interesting fact, real quick. She is voiced by Jennifer Connelly, who was Betty Ross in the Eric Bana Incredible Hulk.
And in real life, she's also married to Jarvis.
Yep, Paul Bettany, and in real life, she's also really hot.
So that's the only reason that she got this role.
Those are 4 fun facts in a row. God, see, on the Broforce Squad, you tell your mom, yeah, they cuss and they're kind of crude and stuff, but
we know our shit.
I learned shit too, Mom.
Yeah, and also, Mom, is this orange juice or Sunny D? Because I didn't realize I was in prison.
So I don't think I ever got an answer to the question. Do we like her or not?
I actually don't like her. Although when he goes into damage control, it's kind of funny. But
we just gave you fun facts about her. Like, no, get rid of her. See, I didn't like it because it's too Iron Man-y for me. That's not Spider-Man. He didn't ever have anyone talking in his head, I guess. I mean, yeah, maybe Iron Man with Jarvis, maybe Bruce with Alfred and stuff, but Spider-Man never had anyone out there with him. That's the only thing I didn't really dig. Once again, they're giving it a different aspect of the character, so some people like it, some people hate it. Just the way it is.
When he turns off the training protocol, it's like the first time you realize you can masturbate. It's just out of control. It's like, what's going on? I don't know how to handle this.
You're like, I want to do it again, but I'm kind of tired. I might just, eat a sandwich, take a nap.
What are my limits? Like what? Movies, they might glorify this, but how fun would a stakeout be?
It sounds terrible.
We
Really?
would just eat pizza, get drunk, and fall asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does sound pretty bad.
It would be fun for like an hour.
I didn't say it was bad. I'm just saying that's what we would do. Banner
No,
said it was bad.
Banner said a stakeout sounds terrible. You can get donuts, coffee, takeout.
Oh, donuts and coffee. So you mean
Why
I
did
can
they
have
call it a
breakfast?
Stakeout. Like, did they used to like grill steak when they did it?
See, I can get behind that.
Well,
But
if
we
you
would
set
be
the
too
grill-
quiet because we'd be outside of the van. That's supposed to be.
It turned
no one's
into
in
like a
there
tailgate.
Grilling out, listening to Leonard Skinner.
It turned
and
into a
drinking beer.
tailgate.
And then Banner would be like, the best way to be undercover is to be right in front of their face.
Playing cornhole. Like they'd be like, dude, we know you're looking at us. Like, what are you talking about?
And Banner tells the
Oh, wait,
chief,
Banner,
okay,
that's a leaner, so you better
it
count
became a
that.
tailgate. Fine.
Sometimes you forget to count the leaners. I've been watching you.
Look, it's house rules. I don't play with leaners.
He looks at him. Oh, shit.
He said suit lady. Is that her actual name? What's her actual name?
Karen.
Yeah, it is Karen.
It's Karen.
So 2 more Spider-Mans apparently. Like, what villains you guys want to see?
Well, I think we're getting the Lizard for the next one.
Again?
Well, he wasn't in this.
I mean, he was in the second reboot.
Oh, yeah. I mean, what I
Is it
really
insane
want...
I have to say that? Like, let's take a step out of our comic book nerdy bodies and just be like, this sounds stupid. They reboot it 3 times. If you're just a regular person, like, why?
If I had it my way, I would take Mysterio in the next one and then Kingpin in the last one.
I'd take Carnage, second one, and make it dark. The third one, dude, I don't even know.
I'll say it.
Like-
I'll take Venom.
Yeah, I was gonna say Rhino, but then you guys would just attack me. But I actually liked him.
Yeah, I would attack you.
But the Venom, are we getting Tom Hardy's Venom or a different one?
That's the thing is Sony fucked up Venom too because they don't connect it to this. That's gonna be stupid.
And it's not going to be, I don't think.
Well, they can't do it any worse than what the first franchise did with Topher Grace. Okay, what about this? Zac Efron as Eddie Brock.
So he has to. What does he have to be, like college age kid?
He's got to be.
probably.
He's got to be short and stocky, and just like overly confident. Yeah.
I mean, I think they fucked up the original trilogy. Joe Manganiello would have played an awesome Eddie Brock, and they cast him as Flash.
And then did nothing with him.
Yeah. Well, they could have.
absolutely.
They could have cast literally anybody else as Eddie Brock, other than Topher Grace, and it would have been fine. And I love Topher Grace, but
Guys, if
Topher
we were in the
Grace-
scene, we'd be doing the exact same thing, though. It's like we're just bored. We're going to be here for like 20 hours. But we just met this Karen person, and who knows? If she's a real person, she might be hot with decent sized tits. So we're just gonna lay the foundation now.
Karen, if I ever get out of here, I'd love to meet up for just a coffee or like a lobster bisque or something. Really just play
Oh,
some
fuck.
catch-up on to know who's in here.
Do you think that suit has Tinder, where through his eye he could just like wink left or wink right?
If Tony put any thought into it, then yeah, it would. Is that Ultron's head? Because I know it shows up later. I didn't know if that was...
Yeah.
yeah,
that
it
was
was an Ultron head.
That's pretty cool.
That movie has an interesting ending.
We're not going to do
We're
this
not doing
again.
this today. We're not getting into it.
Do what? I'm just saying I like the movie.
Yeah,
Nope.
you love it.
Yeah, we know what you're doing, and just stop.
It's not my first time on a podcast with you. I remember that that TI-89, you could jailbreak that thing and get some pretty cool stuff on it.
So I'm also reading that J.K. Simmons said that he had an open invitation to come back as Jonah Jameson if he wanted to. which
How?
I don't care how well you played a role in some other reboot. So you can't bring him back because then everyone's like, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it would have been confusing, but also he was so good in the role that I'm just willing to like.
Yeah, he was, but still, it's like you bring it back. It's like, so does this connect? Which actually, I could see it connect to the originals because it could be prequels since Tobey Maguire's just so damn old, in like the originals, that maybe he had to go back to high school to get his GED or something, and that's where the original Spider-Man takes place.
He got a chick pregnant, kind of derailed his life. Doesn't blame her for it, but. Every time I see this scene, I think of Will Ferrell in Old School when he goes, "That's how you debate."
That's how you debate.
I blacked out. What happened?
If this is the MJ they're going with, like it's supposed to be the new Mary Jane, I hate it, dude. She's just so mean.
Well, and you cannot convince me that Tom Holland and this chick are going to get married eventually.
My wife said that they're dating in real life.
Yeah, that rumor's been debunked by them, but they may just be lying to keep the media off their ass. The debunking was Zendaya tweeted at Tom Holland. She's like, "People think we're dating," and he tweeted back at her, "I wish." Which I thought was pretty funny.
Dude, that is a pussy repellent hat, Jeff.
Yeah.
I could pull it
15-foot
off.
radius around him and just move the women away.
I could pull it off.
We need to wear that when we go out, when we get groceries, because I'm like, listen, I just want to, buy some produce. I'm not here to try to get laid.
Take it off for 1 second, they start encroaching on you.
Getting drunk watching this film, I kind of feel like I picked this for my best scene.
It sounds familiar.
It was really well done.
I think the end scene was our third one.
Okay, next movie we do that we've done a review on, like, we need to make a requirement to listen to our movie review.
Let's be honest with ourselves. It's never going to happen.
Make us not sound like dicks. We sound like that actor who's like, yeah, I'm not even sure if that movie's coming out, and I don't remember doing the role. I was another person then.
I hate the guy in a bad situation who's like, "We're gonna die." It's like, I hope you die.
It was one time, all right? Calm the fuck down. I ate some bad tamales. I thought I was.
$1 beers. That's when you said it.
Yeah, I did not think I was going to make it that night. I was so fucked up.
Okay, I think this is the Asian actress that's supposed to be playing Fixum or whoever the hell I looked up.
Okay, that makes sense.
She's gone now.
Washington Monument. She's gorgeous, isn't she? Why are all monuments women? She's beautiful, isn't she?
Well, sometimes cars are, too.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Well, you wouldn't say, man, that Washington Monument's fucking ripped. I don't know. That'd look weird.
Think that
it kind of is ripped. Look at it. It's all broken and cracked and shit. See what I did there, guys? It's called comedy.
That doesn't mean it doesn't still have self-worth, Banner.
If you think you can go to sleep, and if I ring the bell and you think you can go to sleep with that, I'll ring it for you, Banner. But that was terrible.
Yeah, you're better than that.
You're better. This scene, once again, the directing feels Bryan Singer-ish to me. I liked it. I don't know why. I just feel it.
I guess I would agree or disagree, but I don't think Bryan Singer has like a distinct.
Think Bryan Singer's listening? It's like, damn, Geiger, thanks, man. I could never pull this shit off.
He's like got his shirt off.
If you do the X2 opening scene, I'll say whatever the fuck I want about you because you're a god.
Yeah, but then Superman lifting a Krypton island, that doesn't like counteract that.
I said let's just forget
I do
about
like how
Superman.
Flash Thompson's bringing the trophy with him. Right here.
Well, he knows he's not going to win any athletic trophies. You're going to need to hang on to these ones when you get them. I feel like there's people trapped in a fucking elevator. You guys are really going to shoot at me?
Well, yeah, he didn't sign the accords.
The trophy that they give Flash, does it have like a towel on the head and everything?
All right. That doesn't even make sense. That's a really poor attempt at racism.
I know, I'm sorry.
Why would the trophy have?
And can we stop mentioning Superman Returns? I have really thin walls, and like Brandon Routh lives above me. He'll be down here and be like, "Yo, what are you talking about?"
Joel Schumacher probably comes over. He's like, "Right, that movie's worse than mine." It's like, dude, no.
Who's their third roommate? I don't remember. I know we've made fun of it several times.
Might be Topher Grace.
It was Topher for a while, but he moved out.
Yeah, Topher moved out because he won a date with Todd Tucker or whatever.
Tad Hamilton, you fuck this up every pod, and like sometimes you call him Tad Tucker, which is combining two movies. It's a bad movie with a good movie.
I kind of like John Tucker Must Die, actually.
John Tucker Must Die is a great film.
Yeah, see?
Oh, relax.
And it's got, I believe, one of the hottest chicks ever of the early 2000s, Sophia Bush, in it.
Yeah, my girlfriend is a massive Sophia Bush fan.
Really, what else is she in? I think she's hot, but I have no clue what else she's in.
One Tree Hill?
Oh, yeah.
Which, don't get me started. Let's focus back on Spider-Man. One Tree fucking Hill.
Isn't it awesome that I think, like, actresses are hot and I don't even know, like, their number one role? I'm like, yeah, I don't know.
I'm just impressed that you know her name.
I love how Karen's giving him advice.
I do a lot of searching on the internet, Banner, for masturbation purposes, so
Gotcha.
I'm a connoisseur, if you will.
Collector never stops collecting.
Man, Flash. That's a bully doing his research. And like, yeah, I asked Spider-Man, said didn't even know you. And he also said, fuck you. What? Why would he? That doesn't.
I guess Keaton took over the Spider-Man Twitter for a bit and had pictures of him and Holland on set. And I guess they like hung out a lot on set. Like Keaton like really liked Tom Holland.
Dude, if I was Holland, I would soak up every piece of advice I could get from him.
He said that he liked him a lot because Holland was basically on the set being like, hey, I know I'm kind of quote-unquote the star of this film, but he just followed Downey Jr. and Keaton around just asking him a bunch of questions, which is why I think that he's going to be – I don't know if it's like a Leonardo DiCaprio, but someone in Hollywood that you might probably see getting Oscar nob in the next 10 years, because anytime you're on set – and you're not Efron just doing blow in your trailer and being 4 hours late.
But there's nothing wrong with that either.
Efron, that's what I would be doing. But whenever you're with awesome actors asking them points, you're probably going to make it in Hollywood. But once again, we contradict ourselves because if we were in Hollywood, we'd be in Efron's trailer.
Oh, for sure. Like, let's be honest. Like, I've said it before. Would you rather be at the frat party or studying at the library?
No shit, dude.
So a lot of obviously famous Spider-Man characters. Betty Brant on the news was, of course, played by Elizabeth Banks in the original trilogy. Sam Raimi trilogy.
She's fantastic, too.
That line, couldn't lose another student. Not again. What
again.
happened, number one? And two, if someone did die, why do you still get to take kids on field trips?
I'm glad he's getting some movie roles. He was in Freaks and Geeks way early in his life, and now he's on Silicon Valley. Great actor.
Still good in Adventureland, too, if you guys haven't seen that, with, of course, Lex Luthor.
I've seen that in a minute.
I forgot about that movie.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds.
I love him in Freaks and Geeks. That's a very underrated show.
Yeah, that's God damn it.
That's very early Judd Apatow.
What's the director?
Judd Apatow?
Judd Apatow. Seth Rogen's in it. James Franco's in it. The chick she's in Avengers. She's Hawkeye's wife's in it.
Linda Cardinelli? Yeah.
And then what's Marshall? Marshall from How I Met Your Mother.
Segel.
Yes, Jason Segel's in it too.
Oh yeah, Jason Segel. A lot of great actors in that.
Banner, you're going to like this. So this is Marvel really tying their shit in. You see Captain America, the first Avenger, the principal of their school, Mr. Yagamoto, The same actor's in it. He's one of the Howling Commandos, and this character is his grandson, played by the same person.
Well, that's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I realized that.
We all had that teacher like Hannibal Buress, like, dude, I don't fucking care. They don't pay me enough to like babysit.
Yeah, they don't pay me enough to care. And
dude, Hannibal Buress is so fucking funny.
This is
like
just...
he's not even in detention. No, I like it.
And detention teachers, it's usually like a punishment for doing something wrong. It's like, hey, you have detention duty for the next month. So he probably put something on social media. We're like, dude, you have detention for the next month.
This is where you're like, no, all right, well, I got a few minutes to watch some porn. This is one of my favorite things about Spider-Man. At the end of the day, he is just a teenager.
And they finally captured that for the first time ever. And I love Garfield. Banner, I believe you really like Garfield too.
Yeah, I really like Garfield.
But the thing is, I still don't think they captured... It's weird because there's two sides of Spider-Man. There's like the moody teen angst side, just like there's two sides to every teenager. But then there's like the fun poppy side. And I felt that Tom Holland was just doing the poppy side, which I loved, until kind of the ending scene where he was trapped. But he's probably the best Spider-Man just going off of one film. If I just had to watch every single one film just going off there, I love Garfield, but
I don't think
he looks like him.
Well, I said this earlier. I don't think he is great at being Peter Parker or Spider-Man. Like, those are the two people you have to beat. That poppy, that quick on your feet, very witty person in Spider-Man, you have to be able to deliver those lines very, very well. But then you also have to play that teen angst, that kid figuring his shit out very well. And Garfield did that side of it very well. And I think Tobey Maguire delivered the one-liners really well. And I think Tom Holland falls somewhere in the middle on both of those sides, which is why he is ultimately the better Spider-Man.
Donald Glover, Danny Glover's son, which means this is definitely connected to Angels in the Outfield.
And also the...
Oh, shit! Is this Joseph Gordon-Levitt's brother from Angels in the Outfield? You guys see what I did?
Yeah, definitely.
The room's spinning because I want to call you an idiot, but it actually makes a lot of sense because he would take his last name. But
I'm just saying.
That's insane. Let me take a bong rip and think about it.
Subhaven is pretty good, but he's right. There's way too much bread on it. If your cold cuts are that good, you don't need to drown us in bread.
That is true. Just like when I hate people's like best burger in town, I'm like, dude, you just put mayo and a bunch of shit on there. Like, I can't even taste the meat. How do I know?
Oh, you have a nephew who lives here? Yeah? You think he'd look good in one of these fucking suits in like 10 years?
I love whenever, and Marvel's the best at doing this, but then I also hate it because then you got to take time out of the movie, which you've never seen before in theaters, and explain it to like the chick next to you.
Yeah.
Like, okay, who's Miles? Just, I'll tell you later.
God. You know what? He's no one.
They need to have like two versions. They need to have like the version that has all the Easter eggs in it for freaks like us, and then they need to have the version where like they pause in the middle and they
like
explain
an intermission, and Stan Lee comes and he's just like,
just has a monologue.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. All right, guys, real quick. The Staten Island ferry scene right here. Do either of you, let's just be honest, did either of you buy the DVD? Do you have it, like, are we streaming this? Does anyone? Do you actually have the DVD?
I have the DVD.
I bought it. I bought the virtual version.
Watch the special features. The original draft of this scene, and there's concept art of it, but they didn't film any of it, was going to have Tony, like Iron Man, show up, the Vision, and War Machine to all help with the ferry attack.
Really glad they didn't do that.
I think that would have been cool.
Dude,
it wouldn't have been a Spider-Man movie,
man,
though.
because you're like, man, it'd be awesome, but it's... I just didn't like how... And I think it was more Sony than Marvel.
I've got to pee before
Sony's
they
like,
rip it apart.
hey, we want to fucking milk all your characters for all they're worth, even though we don't have any rights to them, because it's our movie. But at the end of the day, it's like whenever you go see a Batman movie, you don't really want Green Lantern to show up. You don't want. It's like this is their ace. This is their ace because they don't have Wolverine. I mean, Spider-Man is their ace. It's their number one character of the comics. If you're younger and you think Iron Man's a big deal, it's just because Downey Jr. He was like a B+ player in the comics. It was always Spider-Man. So there's sometimes I was like, man, that'd be cool. But then the other times it's like a Spider-Man film. And like you said, Jeff, like after the Avengers, probably one of the greatest comic book movies, definitely the greatest comic book movie of all time. But then afterwards, it raised a lot of questions. Like if Thor has a movie, well, why doesn't just everyone show up and beat him up? Now you have to go touch all your bases. So like, well, Thor's doing this and Hulk's doing this, and that's why they all can't come here and like fight and stuff.
The concept art looks really cool. I mean, they probably would have had like one line.
Yeah.
But it's like Vision is like using the Mind Stone to like hold together the ship, and War Machine's like saving people. I mean, it just would have been like cool if they showed
You
up.
think it's like Vision's like at his Thanksgiving dinner, and he has like a V-neck on and he has like a turkey covering knife. He's like, I'm not sure what I'm doing here, but I'm here to help, Mr.
Press the
Parker.
candied yams. He realizes he has to go.
Do you like cranberry sauce? I guess.
You know, I forgot Scorpion was in this, and I hope he's not the villain in the second one because he's really stupid.
I don't think they'll do that.
I think they're just showing, hey, here's Scorpion. Isn't that cool? Now you'll probably never see him again. I think it'd be cool if he showed up in what's that shitty show you watch that none of us do?
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., yeah. I think it'd be cool if he showed up in that.
Did you say I don't watch Legends of Tomorrow?
No, I said I don't watch a shitty show, but it definitely isn't Legends of Tomorrow or Supergirl. Not that good.
I was about to say, way to turn that shit around.
Wow.
Or Gotham. Oh my god. Why did you start this?
Yeah, how's your animated movies doing where we fucking dominate?
Oh yeah, did you see the Batman and Harley Quinn? Since I know you're such a big DC animated fan.
Yeah, Harley Quinn's awesome. She's everywhere now. She's like she's like chlamydia.
I think she's more places than chlamydia is. At least you can get rid of chlamydia. If you've ever ridden the Staten Island Ferry, there's a reason it's free, and him just blowing it up actually kind of improves it.
I feel like they've done this on other movies. Have they done this before? Or wasn't it in Spider-Man?
It was in all the Spider-Man.
Dark Knight, they had the ferry.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah. They've done where Spider-Man holds together different objects in the other movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the train scene in the second one?
Train scene, yeah, in the second one. There we go.
Garfield, I've seen a meme where all three of them did it. Garfield does it in something. He's holding the at the power plant in Amazing Spider-Man 2. He's like holding some shit together too.
Still, probably the best scene ever of holding something was Chris Evans. Whenever he's holding the helicopter, and he actually ripped up his bicep.
Yeah, in like real life, he actually got hurt. Yeah.
Pussy.
In Civil War.
The shirt looks like a small, but it's probably like a large.
No, it actually, no joke, they put him in a medium-sized shirt, and he normally wears an extra large.
They'd have to cut off they'd have to sliver up the sleeves. That's insane.
Yeah, they actually did it to make him look bigger.
There's a couple cars in here where I think that people would just rather they sink with the ship and they try and get
Actually, yeah, I can get a pretty good insurance out of it, and it kind of needs a lot of stuff. So this is actually kind of
Tony shows up and they're like, "Hey, save me, but let's not lose any sleep over the cars." This is a great scene. There's one of these in almost every Spider-Man movie where he's like way in over his head, but he tries anyway.
Yeah.
Which I think is kind of... It plays back into that teenage angst thing. Like, how many times as a teenager did we get way in over our heads in something, and like you just had to figure it out?
I just usually didn't figure it out. I just got grounded.
Like when Rachel was pregnant when she was like 18, Jeff. Remember that? Your wife that divorced you?
I just kind of wish he didn't wait till the kid's 19th birthday to tell me it wasn't mine.
But think about it. You gave that kid a pretty good life. I mean, it definitely, like, it's not yours, but he probably won't remember it, but we will.
I want to know how
my calls on the cell phone that I pay for.
I love this too because, like you guys said, everyone wanted Spider-Man young in high school. That's his best comic arc. And then some people were like, man, he's like in this movie, he seems kind of like doesn't really know what he's doing yet. But how else would you want that done unless we just did the origin story that's so played out and dull and just tired? So I dug it, man. MCU, the worst movie you're ever going to get is probably going to be like an 81%. And then it's going to be 81 to 98 most of the time.
I don't know. What did Thor 2 get? Because that was pretty bad.
Which one?
Thor Dark World?
Yeah, check out our... Okay, yeah, I forgot about that one. Check out our review on that, actually, in a couple weeks.
Yeah, it's coming out. That one's got to be less than an 81.
With full lights.
Iron Man 3 should be like a 6 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Iron Man 3 is not that bad a movie. You're just... like, it was stupid what they did, but still, it's a fine movie. There's a lot of good parts in it.
The cool thing about this, you're like, oh man, Spider-Man's like this hit new hero. You watch Iron Man, you're like, at the end of the day, this is what a fucking superhero does.
But he's learning. He's still a rookie. I mean, he's making rookie mistakes.
You need a seasoned vet on the end of the bench.
First round draft pick. Learning the offense.
Look, he's going out, he's spending that signing bonus. That's on him. He'll get over that. He'll grow out of it.
But he's staying after practice for the veterans, though. That's good.
The thing I love about the damage control is, as like a lot of the villains in superhero movies and in the Marvel movies are like, let's take over the world, let's take over whatever, Asgard, whatever planet they're on. The whole point of damage control is Toomes is like, dude, everyone shut up. If Iron Man is onto us, this whole thing's over in a heartbeat.
Yeah, no shit.
He's the exact opposite.
He doesn't really want to take over anything. He just wants to make some money.
He just wants to steal, the shit from...
He's trying to give his family a good life.
That's why Spider-Man works so well, is it's so...
He's like the Netflix
like kind of detective work, just like Batman. It's more grounded. The villains and the heroes are just more grounded, so it's more fun. And more people can relate. You're getting some science fiction people, but you're getting some people that just want to watch kind of a fun popcorn film, too.
Yeah, it's definitely, he wants to save the neighborhood, not the world feel.
Yeah, Vulture was an interesting pick whenever I heard it first. But then once they said Keaton, I'm into it. But it works here really well.
Fine. If you even cared you'd actually be here. Oh, I am, though. I'm 15. If you correct someone on your age, you're too young. That's kind of the moral of the story. I'm dish manning.
See, the whole Downey thing, whenever I saw this promotion thing, I'm like, dude, is this a Downey movie? But I love the aspect of this because he's not just in it just to be in it. He plays a very important role in this, and really just basically he character develops Peter Parker himself.
It's going to make it hurt that much more when he dies in Infinity War.
This is not going to be a good time for us. I mean, like, we just lost Hugh Jackman. I like we were saying, like, he's dead in real life, but Logan's gone. And now we're going to lose... I love this. I survived my trip to New York City. Now we're going to lose Iron Man. This is just not a good time. Just hopefully we don't lose Aunt May, I guess.
That's where I'll draw the line, especially if she's wearing outfits like this.
So juicy.
She's not used to a man coming home late.
Yeah, without him smelling like booze and regret.
You think her and Downey went out for a glass of wine, after a set? Just
a
one
glass?
time?
Come on, they went out for a bottle. Let's be honest with ourselves.
Let's just see if the flame's still there from the 80s. I mean, they both still look awesome. I mean, usually if you date a dude that's awesome in the 80s, it looks like Mickey Rourke right now. who she was also in The Wrestler with.
Downey's probably like, look, I got a little bit of blow left over from the 80s. Let's just like old times.
Just take a sniff and see where the night leads us, you know?
Do you think Tom Holland popped a boner right here?
It'd be hard not to. He's like 21. You got Marissa Tomei right by you, rubbing your hair. You can't even blame it on the suit. As Jeff said, this principal, he's in a ton of stuff. Couldn't name you one thing, but I like everything he's in.
Yeah, no kidding.
This will keep me up tonight. I don't know what else he's in, but he's in a lot of things.
Back to Marissa Tomei being Aunt May real quick. You know, a bunch of people were like, oh, you're going to make her young Aunt May? That's so fucking stupid. Marvel's like, well, Marissa Tomei is playing her. All right, well, we'll give her a shot.
Yeah.
I'll give Homa a
shot. Banner, what is that noise?
It's not me blowing into my beer bottle. That's for sure.
Got it. Now I know that is what it is.
I love that they're putting the Death Star back together.
Legos are sick. I would get back into Legos if they weren't so expensive. And if it was acceptable.
They are super expensive.
Makes no sense.
I guarantee you they didn't have anything this cool when I was a kid.
So his friend in this, I can't remember the actor's
Fat
name.
Ned?
Well, yeah, the actor's name. But yeah, Ned.
No, it's Fat Ned.
I think, really, like, he makes Peter Parker more Peter Parker than any franchise ever. Just because the whole Tobey Maguire thing, I'm like, who is he in high school? Like, he's not really a nerd. He just looks like he's 48. Garfield's just so effing good looking that it's hard to believe that he's kind of nerdy. It was just kind of more the kid in a band, which isn't really that nerdy.
He was
kind of more
so
of an outcast.
It was like kind of hard to watch.
But
what really did it with
cute...
Garfield, the problem was that he skateboarded everywhere around.
Yeah.
That was a big problem that I had.
Well, with Holland, I mean, he's a good-looking kid, but with Ned there by his side, you can believe, okay, yeah, he's a good-looking dude, but he's, like, into Dungeons & Dragons and will play World of Warcraft all Saturday night instead of, like, go out to a party or something. They made the hall pass that big because kids kept losing it. Remember that? Whenever, like, your teacher would give you keys to something, but it was on, like, a fucking cement block. Like, what? Why is
like,
that big?
Here's a mobile home that the key's attached to.
The way that he like can't talk to girls too is perfect.
Yeah, that's a big part of the Peter Parker character.
I love how we say that, but we still can't talk to girls when we're married.
Yeah, but we don't have to anymore. So that's
no,
kind
I mean,
of
like
enjoying
us talking to our wives just so we could like do this podcast. I'll take you to dinner Saturday.
Yeah,
just right in your room.
Look at Tom Holland laying the groundwork, dude. He's getting it in later in the night.
With his aunt?
Yeah,
I mean, wouldn't you if your aunt looked like that?
No, that's you. What is wrong with you?
If you say it's Game of Thrones time, then I can say yes because then that's not weird. So
yeah,
you rephrase the question,
like Game of Thrones style.
If it was during Game of Thrones era of time and she was your aunt, would you? And then you could say yes.
So what you just said is my question.
I already said yes.
Yes. Told you.
God, this scene.
I love this. I didn't see this coming.
I had no idea this was going to happen.
And you know that Keaton knows right away.
I love it too where, you know, there's some douchebag out there on the internet is like, yeah, well, that was fucking obvious. How, bro? How? Like, how?
I didn't see it coming
like,
at all.
This is interesting. I mean, it's not like a huge, Vader, Luke, I am your father thing, but I dug it. I was like, huh, this is... And I can't remember how they tied in. They had the same last name, right? Or something like that. You just never heard her last name?
I don't know if he, like, remarried her mom or what. And he can tell how shook Peter is that he knows it's right.
Was it kind of like, you know, the nurse is a woman joke kind of thing, too, that she was African-American and Michael Keaton's white and, like, no one saw it coming, probably? I mean, it was a good play. There's interracial couples out there, Banner. You just have to deal with it.
I have no problem with that. He said that's the right answer.
Good answer.
See, and that's why I can never date Michael Keaton's daughter. He's like, you want a whiskey? I'm like, I'll take a scotch, sure.
I'll make an exception if she looks like this. Fine.
But no matter how hot she is, wouldn't you just sit there asking him about Batman and Beetlejuice the whole time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't that the most awkward thing ever in high school whenever you're, like, dating a chick for a while and you meet their parents?
Yeah, that was, like, the worst part. I'd almost rather it just be the vulture and just we get it over with.
But yeah, because the dad's like, so what are you thinking with my daughter? I'm like, obviously, I'm going to college next year, and this is probably not going to last more than a week.
Yeah, so, but she puts out, so good. I mean, good on you guys.
I'll be out of your hair soon.
Yeah, I wouldn't get too comfortable with each other.
Yeah.
He is so shook. God, he looks like Eli Manning.
The car ride
he kind of
here,
just looks like Eli Manning in general.
Dude, the car ride here might be my new favorite scene because this was tense as shit. This was really cool.
And Keaton plays like that not good guy, bad guy. Like, I'm just going to have the talk with him. He's like, I'm going to fucking kill you.
I'm going to murder you. Not
and
tonight,
then,
though, because my daughter just bought a fucking dress that... Do you know how much that cost? I'm not even going to get into it. Her fucking mother. Anyway.
It's even scarier when he goes, no, go in there and show my daughter a good time. Okay, but bye, you crazy kids.
Like, ruffles his hair.
Oh, so I guess he hasn't figured it out yet, but this is when he does.
But Jeff, you said that they're not daughter and dad in the comics, right?
Yeah, Liz Allen, who, like, Adrian Toomes and Liz Allen are not related.
But they probably aren't here either, right? Because he probably just married her mom.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I mean, why not? She's a little bit lighter skinned than her mom.
Maybe, yeah.
This is when he's like, Liz, you can just shut the fuck up anytime, you know?
That's another thing in high school. She's like, tell him that funny joke you made. Oh, the thing about, you know, like, sexual intercourse? No, I probably shouldn't say that in front of your dad that's, like, wants to murder me anyway.
Really not. It's not that funny, Liz.
The kid's like, I'd love to hear it.
Tell me that joke about how you hated the Tim Burton Batman. I don't have a joke. I don't have a joke about that.
I don't remember ever saying that at all.
Remember that time you said you thought Birdman was really overrated? I think I was talking about The Artist.
Tell him about the time you said the only way Multiplicity could be worse is if there was 4 Michael Keatons. What? I didn't know.
Remember that time that you said Mr. Mom wasn't even funny? I didn't say that either. Remember that time that you said you wish that if you just named 3 times the movie would just end? Liz, you seem to remember a lot of stuff pretty well.
Yeah, but you won't. Yeah. Okay.
But you don't remember to take your pill. So that's kind of an interesting.
Yeah, but you always forget to take your pill, which is.
There's so much tension here.
Yeah, and this. Yeah, see, gay gumdrop. All right, now leave. I'm gonna tell this guy I'm gonna cut his Achilles.
Gives a little peck on the cheek. He's like, "Yeah, I love you." He's a good kid.
It's hard to believe he's Ken in Toy Story 3.
I love this. He just pulls her out. He's like, ugh.
Does she know? God damn it.
It's like he respects him But then he's like, I'm going to have to kill you too, though. You understand?
See, I just love how they gave Keaton shit to do. It's so important.
A lot of meat on the bone. Like, they actually let him act. Which I think is something that the MCU hasn't done a whole lot with its villains, is they don't let them act a whole lot.
Do you think that's Sony's doing? Or do you think that the MCU is finally just learning their lesson? Dude, that's the thing you have to bring up. Because Sony could actually say that their villains were pretty okay. It pretty much.
I love Doc Ock.
Doc Ock was fine. I mean, Defoe was awesome, I thought.
Which
The
of
third
the
one
four and the
sucked.
fifth one are you talking about?
The first one with the lizard was fine.
Yeah,
Good character development in that. Yeah, Dr. Connors. The second one was Banner thinks it's the greatest movie ever. And
I didn't say it's the greatest movie ever. I said it's extremely entertaining. There's a lot wrong with it, but it's entertaining.
A video of me kicking the nuts for 30 straight minutes and putting on YouTube is entertaining too, but I'm not. It's not a good movie.
I bet Jamie Foxx would be better in that video than he was in the movie.
I think you're proving my point here. Ned with his Indiana Jones hat.
Yo, Ned, do you have like cancer or something? Why do you always have a
Did
hat?
MJ just flip him off?
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
I think it actually was kind of hot.
She's definitely getting sexier the further on in the movie we go.
I'm in art, and I'm really like. I guarantee you, like, she has some like hidden story about her parents or something. We're gonna have to learn about in the second or third one. That's why I'm so edgy,
Ugh.
and I draw a lot.
Well, if it's like the comics, her dad just beats her. So that's kind of interesting.
Way to bring us down.
Wow.
And Liz brings us right back up. Showing! Dude, I would stay at the dance, honestly. And maybe that's why I would be a bad superhero. Reason number 1,000.
Well, once again, SWOT analysis.
I love this too, how he just has his shit under the lockers.
Because he's the only one who can lift that.
If this is your last night to live, you might as well lose your virginity. I mean, let's be honest.
I don't think the Shocker is allowed within 100 yards of a school.
Why would you say that?
He's a pedophile.
A still ongoing investigation, so he's fine now. Last time I checked, which is right now on Google, you're innocent until proven guilty, Jeff.
In this country.
Are they going to bring the Shocker back?
I kind of like how they used him as, like, just a henchman, not like the main
I liked how they used him like KGBs and BBS, where it's just like, dude, we don't need him to have his own movie, but let's involve him in the universe.
Yeah, just a gun for hire is where they work.
Yeah.
Right? And in this one, they almost made the Shocker. It was just really like whoever had this thing became the Shocker, because there's two of them. Good job, Ned.
It's all because of that hat.
I'm trying to remember this end scene. Okay, yeah. He's going to hijack, or Vulture's going after the jet.
Right.
God, Flash would have that fucking car.
Technically it's his dad's car though.
Oh, okay, that's good to know. Turn the lights on, bro.
I don't think he knows how to drive. He's from Queens.
Oh, people from Queens are listening like, hey, that's right. They always virgin without signaling. Ned is like, oh, finally, I'm out of the public eye. I can take my hat off. Brian, you consider this a chase scene or no? He's just driving, I guess.
Yeah, not. It's a very weak. No, it's not really a chase scene. No. It's a great scene, but it's not a chase scene.
Does anything make you feel cooler than having like 11 computers that you're using at once and you're like sliding the chair back and forth?
Yeah, getting laid.
Yeah, getting laid's pretty cool.
What's that like?
It's like just feels like a bag of sand.
Good 40-year-old virgin reference.
Yeah. Felt it?
Oh, he just wanted
all the time.
sex all the time.
Bag of
I know-
sand. So stupid.
If you're still listening at home, which you are, comment below or tweet at us at Bro4 Squad. Let us know. Do you think it would be cool if we did a commentary on a comedy movie? Because we've debated back and forth whether it would actually be.
Yeah, we try to be funny. Some people think we are, and some people think we're just crude and
Stupid.
D-bags. You're all true, but we just think a comedy movie we would take away from the comedy, and we don't want to be just quoting the whole thing the whole time. So,
Banner, on Stark's jet, what is the magic belt?
What?
So Happy's listing off the inventory that he has from all the Avengers,
Oh, magic
other
belt.
superheroes, and he says the magic belt. Is that something of Doctor Strange's?
Maybe, I don't know.
What are you doing? Nothing. Looking at porn. Please leave.
You know
Or
you're
is-
actually up to something when you
Aren't they
admit
more
that you're.
worried- Yeah, aren't they more worried about kids like smoking weed or something, and this kid like looking like he's doing his homework?
Well, they're probably more concerned that he doesn't have a social life because those are the kids who shoot up the school.
That's true. He's like, well, my date's on her period, so she's changing her tampon, so I thought I could get a couple problem sets done, in between.
He's
He's
also
trying to make
probably-
my Sunday a little lighter.
I saw that hat he had on. He's probably fucking some girl somewhere in the school.
Look, it worked for Indiana Jones.
All right, teacher. Is that Harrison Ford? No, it's Ned.
Nope, just Ned.
All right, carry on.
I love how there's like nothing in the warehouse here. It's mano y mano.
This is visually awesome.
Yeah.
Also, every movie needs this scene where, like, it's the confrontation between the hero and villain, but before we get a little bit of dialogue so we realize what they're really all about.
Yeah, it's WWE shit. Like, before we fight, we're going to talk for 20 minutes. You know how
Yeah.
much I love it.
I don't know about you guys. I was digging the Vulture's jacket. He kind of looks like a late 70s porn star, but also he kind of is a late 70s porn star.
I gotta say,
totally
I
rock
could
that
never-
jacket.
I couldn't pull it off. Jeff, you couldn't, but I think Banner could.
Yeah, Banner could.
I appreciate that, guys.
There's some stuff in movies I'm like, I was the same way, Jeff, when I first saw this. Like, God, that jacket's stupid. But then I was like, but it's just because I can't wear it. It's actually a pretty cool jacket.
I actually really agree with what the Vulture's saying. Here.
I think that's what makes a good villain is because at the end of the day, you know he's a bad guy, but there are at times you're like, well, he actually makes some good points. It's kind of like, check out our Star Wars commentaries. We talk a lot about this, how at the end of the day, we know the Jedi are, well, we're pretty sure the Jedi are good, but the dark side has, and the Sith have a lot of good points. Like, that's what makes a good villain, is that you can actually relate to them and they actually have good ideas.
Our legal counsel, Ronnie Cycli, is training right now to become a Sith Lord. So, good luck with
I
that.
think he is a Sith Lord.
There's
But
an
two things-
internship that you have to do before you can be a Sith Lord.
Two things to me to make a good villain is either what Banner just touched on is how you kind of see their point of view some of the time, or just something you just totally hate them and want them to die, like kind of a la Ramsay Bolton from Game of Thrones. It needs to be one or the other. You can't just have them go in there. It's like, like Doctor Strange kind of did this. There's some other movies that, hey, I'm the villain, Enchantress. I'm the villain. Everyone hate me. I'm like, you got to give me a reason to hate you, or even kind of side with you some, but still not want you to win at the end.
There's a lot of cool shit in this. Yeah.
Now, Jeff, I got a question for you here. You've got me watching. I'm about a season and a half in on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Is this a similar ship or jet to the bus?
It is.
Okay, this is this might have been one of our best scenes actually, where he sees himself in the water.
I think this was my best scene.
Yeah, I think this was one of the best scenes that we
It
had.
feels like this is somebody's best scene. We've said that about 6 scenes. There's only 3 of us, but
we've all had this moment. Usually it's when you're like taking a shit and it's not going well. You look yourself in the mirror and I'm like, you're Jeff Hornacek. You can do anything.
9 out of 10 times I'm hungover when this happens to Brian Banner too.
Yeah, and you're just trying not to throw up.
Yeah.
I'm like, I say the line, I go, come on, Hornacek. I think this is telling too because he's like, Tony basically said that I suck and I fucked everything up. And nothing motivates a teenager more than proving an adult wrong.
Yeah. And this is, I believe, it's like script for script off a comic, which I'll get it up real quick.
I love the have the mask on half and his face on the other half, like that split screen look. I've always liked that.
Yeah, him calling himself Spider-Man here, this makes me want to do push-ups.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to do push-ups, but I'll let you do them.
Oh, no, definitely not. But, Tom Holland can do some physical activity and I'll watch.
Have you guys seen the video of him training to, like, get in shape for this? He literally holds on to, like, a pull-up bar and walks up it like he's walking up a wall, but it's on air, but holding himself up only with his arms. The amount of strength this kid has is insane.
So, 1963 comic, The Amazing Spider-Man number 33. Perfect homage. I would say, not page for page, scene for scene, but basically trapped under something and he pulls himself up, says, I am Spider-Man. That's awesome. We all dig it, especially BVS, which is like right off like the Dark Knight Returns and stuff like that. We all dig like a little callback to the comics. We know that you can't do the original stories from the comics. You got to do your own little spin on them sometimes because of copyright laws, but that's really cool.
Very well said. This scene visually too, like you get the dark color palette. I'm like, okay, I see the shit you're going for. It's not like it's poppy most of the time, but they're like, look, when we want to make it dark, we're gonna let you know.
Can this maybe? Am I just drunk being stupid? But this could maybe go down as one of the greatest third acts of any Marvel movie ever, because I thought the third act here was perfect. I thought that we established a good villain. We had a great third act fight with him, which is really hard to do. Even I had problems with Wonder Woman on that. I thought the third act there kind of fell off a little bit on an otherwise perfect movie. But this third act I thought was, perfect.
Yeah, I mean, the third act gives us two interactions between Toombs and Peter Parker, and to me that's like the strongest stuff in the whole movie.
Yeah.
I think the only one that you could come kind of close to is Iron Man. When
Iron Man's third act's really good.
Yeah, whenever he has Downey Jr. and Jeff Bridges have that encounter at Tony's mansion, takes out the arc reactor, blah blah blah. We can move on from there, but
I don't consider Avengers some just because it's like a super movie to me. It's almost like the Golden State Warriors. I don't consider them a team in NBA history. I don't consider them even close to the Bulls because they're like a super team. I just consider just the basic stories. There's a villain, there's a woman, there's a hero, and there's some other stuff around. Just telling a basic story. For this, I think this is one of the best third acts ever. It was it was simple. It got to the point. It gave us everything we wanted. Great scenes, great CGI, great fight scene.
See, if on Southwest, people actually have to do this because there's no assigned seats. So if you want to get on early, sometimes you gotta. I love Happy. Happy's like, I didn't fuck up. His outfit makes sense too. The vultures, like that's obviously oxygen tank.
And as I said, I've had a problem with Marvel sometimes on the most important fight scenes going. This is a great scene too, but going to Poppy and making too much jokes of it. There's a time to be serious, and this whole end scene is really serious, which is awesome. I love that part where he just throws the Iron Man mask.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I love how they have the Chitauri guns too from the Avengers.
Yeah.
And if this is just me being a conspiracy theorist, but I think there's a little underlining here where Keaton really feels kind of Hey, man, I paid the way for all these guys, especially like a Downey Jr. or someone who's his age. And in Birdman, he even kind of makes a joke about how everyone has a cape now in Hollywood. So I love that he had a scene where he looked at the Iron Man mask, kind of threw it away. I thought that was kind of cool.
Well, Will Smith homage, saying the name of the movie.
At least he didn't do a song to the movie.
Yeah.
Wiki, wiki, wow, wow.
These reflective panels are making me trip balls.
I kind of forgot how great this whole scene was at the end here.
Yeah, I don't think I've said anything for about 5 minutes because I'm just watching the movie.
Yeah, this is the first time we've all seen it since.
If you're at home and you're like, why aren't they talking, those dipshits? It's because anytime that happens, because the movie's good, or that one part, like that 5-minute stretch in Batman and Robin, where we were like, oh, they're actually what?
Wait, it's Uma Thurman and George Clooney talking. Like these two can actually act. Why don't we listen to what they have to say?
Yeah, we were kind of taken by surprise there.
I was also super drunk.
Schumacher must have went and got a cup of coffee during that time. He's like, we should have some toys up here or something, right?
It's when he let the interns take over.
And this is just two great actors acting, so why don't you take care of this scene? It's pretty easily.
I obviously can't do this.
Let me do my... Actually, it takes talent to write dialogue so bad that they actually suck.
And good for you, George Lucas, for accomplishing that so well in the prequels. You know it's a good movie. We've made fun of 3 other movies during arguably the best scene in this movie.
Does George have a rebuttal?
I just think that's unfair. Last thing I'll say about the prequels. Can anyone write emotion and sand analogies better than George Lucas?
No.
I'll take that off the air.
Actually, when I vacationed in Florida, they have a lot of like postcards you can send your family about sand and how it's coarse, and it's all George Lucas, like Hallmark cards. It's really cool. And sand is coarse. He's right about that.
No, he's
It's
not
everywhere.
wrong.
It does get everywhere.
I kind of like this. Okay, let me ask you guys this. How do you guys like that he's in his Spider-Man hoodie for the third act?
I know Geiger's going to love it if I know the way he looks.
I do like it. I have some problems with his suit that Stark made, but I like that since this is technically it's not an origin film. It's his first film though, but basically he's still kind of finding his way. That he just has like a homemade suit, just like we got in about 8 episodes of the first season of Daredevil. I think it's pretty cool. And Batman Begins, the first couple scenes.
I'll say this. I think the fair is a pretty boring place. If you could tell me this would happen on the beach where I could see it, I'd definitely go.
I like too, man, is how they just destroyed like maybe 200 yards of real estate. They didn't destroy like New York City, so we don't have to go through that again on the next film. I mean, this probably wouldn't even make the news, would it? Unless these two heroes were fighting. If there's just like a fire on that side of the beach.
Yeah, no, this is 2 nobodies fighting right now. This isn't making the news.
This is what I feel like when I'm hungover, like someone's just pounding me in the ground in submission. Were any of you guys worried right here that Iron Man was going to show up and save the...
I'm just like, no, let's just let it happen.
You can ask my wife because I was pretty drunk and I was like, I have to pee, don't show up. I have to pee, don't show up. I have to pee, don't show up.
You'd almost rather have Spider-Man die than Iron Man show up and save him.
Well, let's not
Let's
not overreact
It just
here
felt
now.
so WCW if that showed up. Like, you know how like the NWO just always show up and beat the fuck out of Sting or DDP or like, dude, could you just not show up once and just have like a match? I liked it was mano a mano. It's Vulture versus Spider-Man. Like Iron Man doesn't show up in that comic. Like if you're just reading a comic and it's Vulture versus Spider-Man, they duel it out.
And I'm glad that Marvel realized the same thing. Like, we come to this movie to see Spider-Man. It's really cool that Iron Man's in it.
Yeah.
But, like, don't do that at the end.
It'd make him look extremely weak, which is why they didn't bring him in, because he's going to lead the franchise, hopefully, when everyone else is gone after Infinity War.
I don't know. Black Panther might
didn't
lead the
do Pete either.
franchise.
What's that?
Black Panther might lead the MCU.
That's fine with me, too.
I'd be okay with it, but God, those two juggernauts going.
I'd love for him and Spider-Man to be like probably the new Cap and Iron Man in the Avengers.
That'd be awesome.
I've now noticed like a trend in Spider-Man movies is Peter dates a chick whose dad knows that he's Spider-Man and also really disapproves of him fucking his daughter.
But that's any high school dad.
I guess that's true.
I'm not going to disagree.
Ned Leeds is like, and that's why I don't date. Oh, that's why, Ned?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Ned
that's
doesn't date.
pretty much it.
It has nothing to do with his hats.
No, it's not the hats. It's my own moral code. So it's not that no chick would date you. No.
I love, however, they built up Keaton's villain in this. They didn't kill him because we actually did care about him. I mean, he's a father to a chick that we all think is insanely hot, and he has some good reasoning for doing what he did, so keep him alive.
Flying vulture guy.
It's a little homage to The Dark Knight.
So is Liz going to be in the next movie? Because she was a senior, right?
Oh, yeah, she was. Good for Peter, by the way.
Peter can go on a road trip, though, just to get his D wet down at whatever state college she's going to. She's still undecided major.
When she's gone next year, do you think Peter told everybody that he hooked up with her?
Oh, for sure. Wouldn't you?
100%.
100%.
100%.
100%. Check out our American Vandal review. Shameless plug.
She moved. She was a junior, but she's moving because her dad's in prison or something, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, maybe she was a junior. I thought she was a senior for some reason.
She's fun to cry about it. It's not that big a deal. He'll be out in a couple years.
Look, we'll make
He'll be a better man.
We'll make this work long distance.
We have Skype, and you can show me your boobs and stuff. I think this would be fine.
Yeah, I mean, Oregon? Oh, well, that's too long away. Have a good summer, Liz.
Yeah, but he's an Avenger, so he could make it work.
Could she have moved any farther away? The United States, maybe Hawaii.
Hawaii? Or Alaska?
Oregon? Quack, quack, go Ducks.
They're from Minnesota. Oh, that's D2. My bad. Wrong Ducks.
You're talking about Oregon. Ducks. Even sports, bro?
D2 is hockey.
He's just trying to do our D2 movie commentary, and I totally didn't set him up for it.
Martin Starr's like, God, I'm going to do so much coke and get a raise because of this decathlon performance.
It's a bummer she's gone, though, because I was trying to hook up with her, but...
Ned, where's your hat?
I love how his phone's all broken.
I love that, because everybody's in high school's phone's broke.
If I got a Verizon number that I didn't know saying go to the bathroom, I'd be half scared, half like, okay, well, what this could be?
You're like, man, what if it's a guy trying to kill me? I'm like, but what if it's a hot chick?
Yeah, it could also be my dealer.
Gonna risk it. That's 2 out of 3 good scenarios. Would Happy Hogan be allowed just in a high school?
Wouldn't it be awesome if he had a visitor's tag on his suit, though?
That would be really funny.
Favreau's just there to see if his rushing title still stands in high school.
Like, why they
Ming?
Get your hands washed there.
At least this kid's washed. He goes water then soap? Jesus.
It's cold season.
What a weird... Oh, yeah, we're the freaks. I like the Pepper Potts cameo too.
Yeah, because
Wow.
there's
Just
a
spoil everything.
there's a rumor she was dead.
Really?
Yeah,
People,
people,
weird fan theory.
yeah, weird fan theories, or that her and Tony broke up.
Well, they did break up in Civil War. They got back together.
Is that proven?
That's a huge plot point in Civil War. He mentions it 4 times.
Well, yeah, that they broke up, but they got back together at the end of Civil War.
No, and right now.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. I didn't realize it. Okay,
What if there's a Pepper
misunderstanding
Potts
here.
spin-off movie where she just like fights Harvey Weinstein? Wouldn't that be fucking awesome? Where she just kicks the shit out of him?
Yeah. And Tony's like, I knew about it. I just didn't do anything. So this Iron Spider suit is the one he has on in the Infinity War trailer.
Which I'm okay with that. I'm glad that it's not the traditional one that we saw in the Civil War comics.
He might change it, but the scene they have, it's him, Tony, Star-Lord, and Doctor Strange.
Which was the first day of shooting, if I'm not mistaken, right? I think that was
Yeah, I think so.
the first day that they shot.
How Happy's always like a creepy, yet also kind of still makes sense distance behind every conversation.
It's kind of like Geiger anytime I'm talking to a chick.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm just back there just to make sure.
I wish Vision would be like getting coffee with his turtleneck on. Oh, a new person?
Has anyone else tried to do Downey Jr.'s facial hair? It looks like shit when I try to do it. Like, he makes it look good, but I can't, like, do it like he does.
I love in Iron Man 3, I hate the movie, but that one scene where the fanboy is like trying to do his facial hair too.
And he has the tattoo of him, and he goes, well, it's off of a doll I made.
It's not even a chin strap. It's like he has a goatee, and he's like, I'm going to chin strap it, and he just says, fuck it, like halfway through, but it looks awesome. It's insane.
Yeah, you're good. Okay, well, when Thanos shows up, just fucking give me a call.
I love that friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Tony's the type of salesman like, well, now that I got the no, I have to get the yes.
I hope Warner Brothers is listening to this commentary. It's like, if you want to know what we want, like, this is it. But you can't give it to us in the second movie. But this Downey Jr. Holland scene is so awesome. It's like the old fucking cowboy is now meeting like the new fucking stud, and they're just having a great scene together. And then you have a cameo surprise here at the end. It's awesome.
I was like, no, that's not a test.
It's going to be hard. We haven't seen Ragnarok yet. It's going to be hard to see what Marvel movie won the year. And Guardians of the Galaxy 2 was a great movie too. And then you got this, and I think Ragnarok would be great.
Yeah.
I think this beats Guardians 2.
I'd agree with that.
I think Ragnarok is going to surprise us. I don't know if it's going to be dog shit or it's going to be amazing, but it's going to surprise us either way.
So what does Tony like make up here? He's like, I'll just make up an announcement.
He's like, oh, we'll just get married.
Has Gwyneth Paltrow gotten hotter in every movie?
I know, it's kind of impressive.
Yeah, she has.
Peter. That was her first line ever in Hollywood, wasn't it?
One of them, yeah.
And
It was
Hook.
Wendy and Hook.
Yeah.
Peter.
Check out our Hook commentary. Guys, we are dropping our shit
Yeah,
like left and right here.
God, listen to our shit. We're starving over here. God.
Seriously, Hook commentary needs some love, guys. Just give it a few clicks.
Steven Spielberg's goddaughter, I believe.
Peter's shirts in this movie are pretty on point.
Yeah.
This is an awesome way to end the movie, too.
But yes, that's either Pot or my Spider-Man suit. Either way, we are in business. Oh, I forgot this ending.
How could you forget the ending ends with Marissa Tomei?
I really like that, actually.
I loved it too.
Yeah.
So
I love the Ramones coming in here at the end too, because that's
in the movie they made knowing that he's Spider-Man.
Yeah. Which should come into play later.
Spider-Man.
Guys, that was Spider-Man Homecoming.
The only post-credits are Scorpion in prison and then that stupid Captain America PSA.
Which I
don't remember. I don't remember exactly what was said through the Captain America PSA, but I remember the Scorpion in prison with Keaton in there because I'm just like, dude, Keaton's coming back.
It got me jacked. Okay, let's talk about this for a minute then. How do we feel about end credit scenes now? Because Marvel has done it so well in the past of teasing other movies that this one, they basically made us wait till the end, similar to Deadpool, for basically nothing.
Yeah, they've slipped a little bit lately with their end credit scenes. I'll be honest.
It's hard though because they have so many movies, so it's hard to hit a home run every time. I love them. I liked when Marvel just gave us one, but it tied in. It was like a serious one. But now they're kind of giving us 2 or 3, and one's just kind of funny. It has nothing to do with anything. But, I mean, come on. We found out about Thanos through one of these. Keep it coming, man. Tease us. The best way to get us excited for a movie that's going to come up in like a year or 14 months is to tease us after you already have us in the seat. We already paid $30 to see this movie. Might as well give us a little taste of what's going to come next.
I'll say this then back to you, Banner. The Ragnarok one has the highest ceiling and the lowest floor for me because I'm expecting the most out of it, like the most direct tie into Infinity War outside of like Thanos showing up at the end of Avengers. And if I don't get that, I'm going to be pretty disappointed.
Real quick, since the end credit scene is on, this is Seagate, right?
I believe so, yes.
We believe so.
So Luke Cage may or may not be here right now.
And if he's here, then Kingpin is also.
Correct.
And Scorpion, there's no way they're going to do much with him because they would have casted a kind of a known actor. He might be part of something, but
right.
It'd be cool to see him show up the way he's looking in a Netflix show, man. I mean, Daredevil, you got Daredevil season 3. We got the Punisher that's going to be dropped, I think, in a week or 2.
Yeah. I would love to see Kingpin just running shit in prison and now Scorpion's like part of his gang.
God, wouldn't that be awesome to see those two great actors going face to face?
Good movie.
It was all right. I'm kidding, guys. I liked it.
We don't remember.
Favreau
how good it was.
is the
We didn't
fifth.
listen to our own review, so
Favreau is the 5th billed actor in this.
Good for him.
Kind of surprised by that.
I didn't stream illegally.
Guys, that was Spider-Man Homecoming. Do we have any last thoughts? Horns, let's go to you first.
I have an idea for an anthology movie.
Let's hear it.
It's a porno with Marissa Tomei. That's my idea.
And Geiger, go.
I have an idea for Jeff's anthology movie, what I'd be doing during it, and it involved a bottle of lotion, and back to you, Banner.
I don't even need lotion. We are the Bro Force Squad podcast. I am Brian Banner for Jeff Hornacek and Matthew F. Geiger. Check us out on our website, www.broforcesquad.com. Follow us on Twitter. We think we're funny, at BroForceSquad. Leave us a review on iTunes and go ahead and comment below on our YouTube videos. Let us know what you think. Until next time, we will web sling it later. That doesn't even make sense.
Spider-Man. Spider-Man. Spider-Man.